To discuss the global march to Gaza, we're joined by Melanie Johanna Schweizer, the organizer of the German delegation. Thank you so much for your time and welcome to Radio 786.
Hi, thank you very much for having me today.
So this global march to Gaza, it's planned to start on June 12th. What is the motivation and the aim of this demonstration?
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much. On the 12th of June, we're set to fly to Cairo. It's an international global grassroots movement organized by the civil society purely, so not by organizations, not by states, not by politicians. We are coming from all over the world. By now, we are 54 country delegations organizing in an international committee, and we are over 2,000 confirmed participants that will fly, who have booked their flights to set off to Cairo, and from there drive with buses to Arish. And from there on, we will march through the desert for 3 days, sleep in tents, and then stay at the border for a couple of more days. The intention of this march is the people of the world unable to witness what is going on. This is a live streamed genocide. It's barbaric in so many ways, and for us, I can speak for the German delegation, it is appalling and it is shameful how our German government is acting, especially with our German history of the Holocaust. In the midst of these atrocities that no one disputes, that are war crimes, and that all the genocide scholars are certain and agree that this is a genocide. And I think genocide doesn't even describe what it is anymore. As you were saying, that they are starving people now for 3 months. They have established a strange distribution position or points where they are shooting at people. This is the Hunger Games that we're seeing play out in real life. And for us, we have been demonstrating in our countries for the last 20 months. We have tried everything that we could. We have approached our governments, our politicians. We have written emails. We have blocked shipments, and yet it is continuing. And me personally, I've been fired as a civil servant from the federal ministry in Germany for dissenting and for speaking up against Israelis' war crimes. And we have come to the conclusion, that this is it is depraving ourselves of our humanity to let this happen when there is more that we can do, and we believe that we can do more. We are free people, especially the European citizens. With our passports, we have a free passage to travel, and we can travel there. And we are inspired from former movements, historical movements, especially in Germany. The Berlin Wall, it didn't fall because governments decided it is immoral. It fell because thousands of people, they went there and they stayed. And we have many other similar civil society movements that were so impactful. And just to wrap it up, the mobilization, what we have seen and the support in the last couple of weeks, it's unimaginable. The people are rising and helping in every way possible. If they cannot travel themselves, they are donating money to sponsor other people to travel, and it's giving people hope in the midst of this real-time horror that we are experiencing.
Indeed, Melanie. Thank you for giving us that background as well of the situation in Germany, and particularly in terms of your government's relationship with the Israeli entity. And let's not talk about the people, because clearly there is a difference there in terms of how they view what the genocide in Gaza. But I want to turn now to, of course, the demonstration. It's a mass march. People are coming from all over the world to participate in this global march to Gaza. But in terms of your engagements then with the Egyptian authorities, is this happening? Are you having those engagements with them to ensure that this demonstration goes ahead smoothly?
Yes, thank you very much for the question. So from the very start, we have been completely transparent in what we are aiming to do. And from the very beginning, we have contacted the Egyptian government about requesting and asking for a permission to let us march, because of course Arish and the whole Sinai is a military zone, so we cannot just go there and walk like we could in other areas of Egypt. But anyways, in Egypt, this is a precondition to have a permission for a demonstration or for a march. So we have been in contact, in close touch actually with especially the embassies in our respective countries. We have told them everything that we are aiming for, that this is symbolic, that we want to carry aid also. I mean, fundamental essentials. I don't really want to call it aid because this is also deflecting from what is going on. Actually, this is what is just necessary and imperative to be there. And there are thousands of trucks waiting in front of the border, and it's not Israel to decide whether they get in or not. And so the Egyptian authorities have been very cooperative and friendly. We don't have a green light yet, but we also don't have a red light. So we don't have the answer that is not possible, because we are sure that they are also committed to do what is right and what is important, and that they have been a country that has been taking a moral stance. So so we are still very hopeful that they will grant us passage. And on top, we have also European parliamentaries joining this march. We also have parliamentaries from local parliaments in other countries who are joining. We have judges and lawyers. I myself am a lawyer who are joining this march, and it was initiated by doctors who have served in Gaza and by Palestinians in the diaspora. So we have from the beginning said that we will do our journey either way. So we have all booked our flights, and we will arrive to Cairo. And then, depending on the answer of the Egyptian government, we hopefully make our way to Arish and to Rafah eventually. And if they will not grant us this permission, then of course we will not. We are not. We are a completely peaceful movement. It's unpolitical. It's purely humanitarian, by the desire to stop the madness. If we will not get the permission, we will stay in Cairo, and we will have an alternative program there.
Just on that concern, and while you're waiting for permission, I suppose, from the Egyptian authorities, the other concern is, should you get that permission and you make it to Rafah, whether you may encounter some kind of pushback from the Israeli entity. I mean, do you have any plans in terms of that kind of aggression from the Israeli regime?
Yes, that's a very good question as well. So we have a security concept, and we have security personnel with us. But of course, in these times, and after we've seen what they have done to the Freedom Flotilla at the shores of Malta, the Israeli regime is clearly out of hand, and they have no limits and no borders. So we know that anything is to be expected from them, unfortunately, even though, of course, this would be a grave violation of international law. But it's not that they have cared before. They do that on a daily basis. This, however, would be on another level, right? They would be attacking international peaceful freedom marchers on a foreign territory, which would be the Egyptian territory, because we intend to completely stay on the Egyptian territory. We want to go to the border, but not cross the border also. This has been very clear from the beginning. And I mean, in the end, this would just showcase what is the status quo, which is that we are in a complete lawlessness in the Wild West, basically, and that the Israeli government has no respect for any rules, and this is unacceptable for us. When we pretend to live in a civilized world, that we have the rule-based order, and this has been long completely disrespected, not only by Israel but by the Western governments. And so yeah, in the end, what can we do if they decide to attack us? We know the danger.
Melanie, just as we round up, we have about 2 minutes left. I just wonder if you can give us a message or advice to the people who might not be able to join this global march to Gaza. How can they also add in terms of their solidarity?
Just another brilliant question. Thank you so much. There are many, many ways to support us. Actually, everything that you do is an impactful move. So you can support us by following our social media pages, which on every social media outlet, it's at Global March to Gaza. You can donate to our fundraisers that we have, and everything that we don't need, we will donate to the people of Gaza. You can do protests. That's something that we really want to encourage, in your own countries at the same time. So we will be marching from the 13th to the 16th or 18th and 19th stay at the border. So in this whole week, we would really appreciate it so much if you would, in your national countries, do protests in your village, regardless if there are only 200 people living there, march. Go march and show the world that this is not in our name, that this live stream genocide that never again means for anyone and for nobody. And you can all have your impact about this. Talk about the march, please. And the Freedom Flotilla and the humanitarian convoy from Tunisia that we are in an official coalition with. They are around 4,000 people making their way by land through North Africa. So by sea, by land, and by air, we're making our way towards Gaza.
Melanie, Johanna, Schweizer, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, for your bravery, as well as you will join hundreds of others who will embark on the global march to Gaza.